What's up, everybody? It's day 44 of 100 days of code, and here we are once again on the 44th day, double fours all the way. And it's amazing to think that we are here once again. I mean, the days have been flying by, and we're on week 7 of School of Code, so we are really making our way through this learning journey, and this week's all about React. React, the amazing library, not framework. Library. Shh, you're in a library. Yeah, it's the library of of React. So, today, 100 days of code, what's it all about? What's this 100 days of code all about? Well, number 1, we code 1 hour a day. 2, we keep ourselves accountable publicly. And number 3, we talk about our thoughts and our feelings every single day with you beautiful people. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So, what did we get up to today? We talked about React once again. So this week is in School of Code, this amazing boot camp, which I'm doing at the moment. We're talking all about React. So today we started the day off with our normal squats. So I did my my 2.5 squats for the day, which was extremely taxing on the thighs and the legs. 2.5 exactly. I'm raising my game though. Followed by gratitude. We were grateful for lots of different things today, one of them being React. Um, Thirdly, we did some Code Wars. So me and my pair partner, we looked at some 7KYU um, ones, and we did something about drying a potato, and we had to work out sort of the mathematical equation and returning if you put a potato in the oven. It was all that sort of thing. I don't remember the exact syntax, but we did get through it in the end. So we got our dopamine fix and got our green tick, and we got that we passed. So we solved the problem. We broke it down and we solved the problem. We made a plan and it was super good. So we really enjoyed that. And so me and my pal Dan the man, we did that today. So that was really awesome. And what else have we been learning? We've been learning lots of other things as well. So, some of them, for example, is we had a special speaker come in, and our gentleman was from BT, and he was a front end specialist there. He recently got promoted, and he started from the same position we started in. He started from a boot camp, not our boot camp, but from a boot camp similar to ours. He took it and then he got himself into a job, and it took him about 3 months to get into the job. And he sort of shared about his experience of getting into the industry, and he's a React specialist. So I was able to talk a little bit about his background and where he came through, and he was a career changer. And so it was really inspiring to hear his story about how he went from, not doing coding to then getting a career in coding from a boot camp. And he spoke about his sort of skills test and spoke about sort of the interview process and, how that all went. And that was really interesting to hear and sort of getting a good idea of what that looks like and what that feels like. And then, of course, he spoke to us about React a little bit. And he talked about how React is a front end library, not a framework. And that means that you can be flexible with it. And unlike a framework where it's sort of maybe stuck to certain rules and certain ways of doing things, with a library, you can call it in and you can use it, and it's a lot more flexible in the way that you do it. And he spoke about being declarative. And so React makes it sort of painless to create interactive UIs and design simple views for each state in your application. And React will efficiently update and render just the right components when your data changes. And declarative views make your code more predictable and easier to debug. So he spoke about things like that, about how it's component based. He spoke about that, so building encapsulated components and that sort of thing, and sort of calling those components in. And he spoke about learning once and then writing it anywhere, so that we don't make assumptions about the rest of your technology stack. That React, you can develop new features in React without rewriting the existing code. So you can refactor it and it changes as you go. And he gave some examples of sort of vanilla JS and React, and so the differences. And so we saw this example of vanilla JS, which we sort of know and we love. But then in React, you can do the same thing, but in a lot less lines because it knows already what's going on under the hood, and it does those things, but you can actually write it up in a much simpler way in what they call JSX, which is the way where you write your code on top of a JavaScript or in a JavaScript file, and in a slightly different way, but it allows you to do that, and you can call in your JavaScript and that sort of things. So it's really, really cool. Loving it. It gives you abstractions. So, for example, vanilla JavaScript, it can be sort of long-winded, he spoke about, and repetitive, where React does a lot of this work for you behind the scenes. And we know that a lot of that is through the power of Babel, and we learned about Babel as well. And Babel is it gives you the way of sort of translating it from and transcompiling it into another way. And we looked at JSX, and it's a way for you to code your HTML and JavaScript together side by side, which is super cool. And we learned about how React gives you a state. So I checked out some of the stuff before, but it's cool to hear another angle. So it gives you a state, a way to cause your page to react to changes. Whatever the state changes, the page will update and it re-renders. It also gives you components, and it's a way to break down your application and down into smaller, more manageable pieces. So components can be sort of reusable, which is really cool. And you can reuse them, and he gave some examples. And he sort of showed a header. He showed a middle bit where it talks about the default state, and then how you can insert things in and change them really easily and interchangeably. So that was really fun to see. And the guy was Nick Truby. Nick Truby, he works for BT. It was a really awesome talk. So really enjoyed that a lot. So we spoke about that a little bit today, which was awesome. And it was fun to hear him speak about his experience and answer different questions. We also looked a little bit more at props, and we looked more at sort of props.txt. We looked at classes today. We looked at functional components versus class components. And we did some workshops all around these things, and we learned about sort of separating out these different sort of components into different sort of folders and different files. So you might, for example, in your Visual Studio Code, you might have we learned about create My React app, where you can go to the React.js website, or you can go into your command line, and you can install sort of a boilerplate of a beginning place of a React system, which has all the node modules and all the things that you need and dependencies. So you can start and create a React app straight away. Just straight up the mark, and it makes it really easy, so you have to download and install lots of stuff. So that was super cool. Played around with that. We made some folders for components and our app component, and for our list component, our list item component. We did those sort of things. And we just had an all in all blast of a time. So, what are my thoughts and feelings today? Overall, it's been a really fun day. I've really enjoyed React. I'm reacting well to, I know, bad dad joke. I'm reacting well to the knowledge that we're learning, and I'm looking forward to learning more tomorrow. It'll be interesting to implement and use this even more. But for now, we're going to go away and we're going to have some rest. We're going to go rest, and we're going to now enjoy our evening. But that is day 44 of 100 Days of Code. Until next time, my beautiful friends, have a great evening, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace out.